My name is Jeremy Barnes. I play in Hacksaw, and before that I was playing in a band called Bablicon from Chicago, and before that I played in a band called Milk Hotel, and yeah, so I've been doing Hacksaw since 2000, and yeah, that's...
I guess it's my turn. I'm Heather Trost, and I joined Hacksaw in August of 2005. Before that, I was played in a band called FOMA in Albuquerque. I played cello and keyboard, and I've been playing the violin for a while, and I studied cello for a while, but my main instrument is the violin.
I've played in a lot of bands, and I was always either collaborating or doing what people told me to. And with a Hacksaw, it's no longer like that. It's just I'm doing whatever I want to do. It's not. It's you know, now, and you know, for the first 4 years I was alone doing it. You know, and now that I have Heather, it's I've sort of learned to not. I've learned to work without collaboration, and now I can come back to it with Heather and do it in a way that, you know, we can collaborate together, and it's fresher again to do it that way. But I think I needed to go back and work on like doing music on my own first before I could really develop the grounds to collaborate again. I think I just did too much of it for so many years, and I lost the perspective on why I was doing certain things. And so yeah, that was...
I think it's kind of the opposite for me, because I've played like in orchestras, and so I've pretty much like had my designated parts that I've played and haven't collaborated as much. And then of course I've like just studied and practiced on my own, and then playing in a band, I had my set parts and I just did those, and it wasn't as free as this is. I think this is more free than what I've done. So for me, it's kind of the opposite in that I'm sort of collaborating in a new way, I guess, in a Hacksaw. So.
I think the term free is interesting because it can be limiting. I think that the people limit themselves by their definition of what free is, and like for instance, I don't know if you know the album Un Livre. It's a Hermeto Pascal album, and it's something like free music of Hermeto Pascal, who is a Brazilian composer, and he's still around, but it came out in like 1969, and it's actually, you judging from the title, you would think that it was an improvised album, but it's actually very composed. But I think what he's trying to imply by the fact that by the title is that he is free to do what he wants. It doesn't mean that he just plays, improvised music. It means that he's free to play whatever he wants to play at any given time. And so when I think of free, I think of it in that way. And I think in terms of composing songs, but I don't think in terms of limiting myself in any way. And yeah. In the beginning, I never thought about doing it live. I just wanted to record a record of things that I was really into at the time, I was listening to a lot of 50s cartoon music and a lot of musique concrète like Pierre Henry and Pierre Schaeffer, and also living in France definitely affected the way I was working, and I think the environment you're in affects the music that you do. And so I think all of those things and a few other things really affected the music. And then the second record was done it was finished last year, and it took a lot longer to do, and it was a lot more intense. And it was after a lot of traveling and working really hard at playing, especially playing the accordion. And so it is different than the first one. I think I prefer the second one. And also the fact that the first one is just me in a basement, and the second one is a lot of musicians helping out, great musicians like Heather, and there's a tuba player who's amazing, and trumpeter, and so I was lucky to find. Strangely enough, I was born in New Mexico, and I never had any positive experiences there before I left, and so I left right after high school, and I was gone for 10 years, and then I came back and I met all these amazing musicians who were a huge help, and so yeah, I was lucky. I was living in France, and I was living. I didn't know any musicians in the town that I was living in, and I started on my own, just in in a garage in a basement, just recording. And it started there, and then I moved to England, and I did shows around Europe, like Germany and all around England, just on my own. And I did a little tour in America in 2001, and then it sort of started to pick up pace in the last year, I guess. And last year we did like a tour. We were on tour this summer, basically all summer. We went all around Europe, and we did about 2.5 months in all. And then we had a week off, and then we were doing another 2.5 weeks in the East Coast. So, and then we did Scandinavia in January. So we've been really busy this year, just going all over. So
it's been great so far.
Yeah. The one thing about it is like traveling and going to different places for me is a huge inspiration with music, and they go hand in hand. The creative process, I think, is benefited greatly by traveling.
I agree, definitely. We played in Scandinavia in January, and like a lot of times on the poster it'd say one-man band Jeremy, because they didn't know that I was like officially in the band, I guess. And so that was kind of hard for me, just because with my other band I'd been an original forming member for so long that it was very different for me to be like a new addition. But it's been really great because like Jeremy has sort of laid this foundation, and so it's almost like the hard part's already been done, so it's really fun now because we get to play shows, and it's just really nice. I think I like it.
One thing about that is like people often, like sometimes people advertise it as a one-man band, and then when we play live, Heather steals the show. She's amazing. So it's very, I mean, I wouldn't want to do it without her now. And so people are always really into what Heather does, and it's always a surprise. And in a way, it helps the live show for it to be a surprise, because people don't expect there to be this amazing violinist playing along. Well, Volcano the Bear, when I first heard their record, and I just really loved it, and it was one of the bands that really kind of just inspired me. I don't often hear new music that I really love, and I just thought they had such an amazing sound, unlike any other band. You could reference them, but into other, past bands, whatever. But I really do think they're unique, and each record is unique as well. So they're a rare band, and so we toured together and became good friends, and so we did the record Guignol in France, Aaron and Lawrence and I, and we were always, we did a lot of collaborating, and not all of it has been released, and we have plans to do more, and I hope in the future we can get together and do more. But they're very inspiring, all of them. I think they just have a great outlook and perspective on music. And
Jeremy had pretty much the whole second album written when I met him, so I just like laid down my violin parts. But I think the next album we've already had some ideas for collaborating, and we've sort of worked on a few new things since we've been on tour. So.
Yeah, we have quite a few new things going on, so I think we're going to hopefully record it this fall and be done and have it released in the spring.
That's the plan.
Yeah.